I said, uh-oh.
There's a fucking catalyst waiting
Nice.
to. Yeah,
You
yeah.
still got it.
I woke up in beast mode.
Still surprises me to see how busy they are for how dead of a company they're supposed to be. You know what I mean?
All right, let's fucking go.
I'm ready to roll when you are.
Okay.
I woke up in beast mode.
But as we always say, no dates, but tomorrow is definitely a big date. But no dates, but, tomorrow.
All right, three, 2.
I woke up in beast mode.
Thump. I feel pretty good about this week. I think we might have a green week. All right, 3, 2, 1. Thanks everyone for checking out the show. I'm Sean Fitzy,
I'm Echo.
I'm Chuck.
and this is the Echo Chamber. If you couldn't tell already, we're running on 3 wheels today as Paulie is out, and I'm not feeling so hot myself, but GameStop never calls in sick, and neither does the Echo Chamber, so we're here. The chart looks rough still. We're going to take a look at it. We got more thumpers last week, 3, and then we got another one tonight, and then we got a whole bunch of 317 tinfoil for you. So we got a lot to go over. How's it going, fellas?
Good. How are
Good.
you?
Happy to be here.
Excellent. Yeah, it's kind of a tougher week. I'm definitely running a fever here, and Paulie's out being a good husband. But there's a lot of stuff that happened, so we want to definitely talk about it. How's your weekend been, Echo?
Not too bad. I got my fix in. I went to GameStop yesterday. Still, it still surprises me to see how busy they are for how dead of a company they're supposed to be. You know what I mean? It's always
Yeah.
packed. There's, lines of people waiting to talk to staff. Never any cards because they're always being bought. You love to see it.
I was gonna actually ask you, whenever I see people shopping at GameStop, I think lately there's a lot of interest in the Pokemon cards and some of the cryptocurrency cards. Are you still seeing that the inventory is low and or limited on the Pokemon cards? Aren't they actually taking steps to limit the amount like people can purchase? I don't know if it's GameStop doing that or if it's Pokemon doing that, but I know they're like limiting the purchase of these cards because they're so popular and they're trying to like combat that a little bit.
Yeah, I know. I've even seen where some locations are restricting pre-sales or pre-orders for some of the drops for Pokemon cards, and so it's literally just first come, first serve as soon as you walk in the door. In some of my areas over the last few weeks, especially the Pokemon section's pretty, picked through. There's not a
Mm.
whole lot of cards. It seems like they're constantly being bought, and even the Cardsmiths ones, the Series 4 series just dropped not too long ago, but the closest store in my area that has any is an hour away from me. So they got
Wow.
picked through pretty quick as well.
Yeah, GameStop's doing some pretty cool stuff. I really like the PSA stuff, but then we got that that post last week talking about GameStop in-store events, which was just pretty awesome to see. I think it's a
It seems like they're making a lot of moves to continue to, I think, one, pivot the business, but at the same time lean into nostalgia, which I don't think GameStop's alone in doing that, but I do think it's a really smart move with, technology and the internet and just TikTok. And I don't know, it's a different time, and it's interesting that nostalgia for folks around, I'm going to say my age, just to kind of generalize, but people in their 30s are now have more buying power than they did previously. And nostalgia is something that seems to hit most people and gets them to buy, honestly.
Yeah, it sounds like it's doing a good job. So every picture I see bunches of lines. In fact, I'm seeing people complaining about not getting cards. So it seems like a good problem for us to have. Maybe we just need to figure out. I don't know how the drops work. Maybe I should learn about that. But maybe we can get some more inventory. And I don't know how that shit works. Is it limited? Do you guys know?
I think the cards are limited. At least I think the Pokemon cards are limited. I don't know about the other stuff.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think if the Pokemon drops, I think each store only gets a certain amount of cards or sets of boxes that they're able to sell. And then just, kind of going back to what Chuck said a little bit, building off that nostalgia and just collectibles in general, I think I have to double check, but I'm pretty sure collectibles make up like 20% of GameStop's revenue right now. So it's
Yeah,
like
it's a lot.
a fifth of the business model is collectibles, and that's an industry that's only set to grow. So
Yeah, I was gonna go look and give you an answer on that, but I'm way too cloudy to even attempt that right now. Not in the middle of a
I'll
show, but
I'll I'll see if I can pull it up at some point if we
all
circle
right.
back to it.
Yeah, I know that the margin is pretty good on those, so that's
Today's
always
show is unofficially sponsored by Mucinex.
yeah, it is. The one with every single symptom on the box. Let's see, we got a thump.
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 I don't know. I teased it in last week's episode, and then we never even talked about it. So I'll go talk about it right now. So right now it is 8:23 on the East Coast on Sunday night. GameStop opened up 4.99% to $24.20. Another 420 this time, and maybe we can dig up Paulie's chart here. We got 3 thumps last week. One was to the downside, so that was pretty interesting. It was a 2096 on Thursday, so it went down to the downside, 4.51% on Wednesday, the 12th, up 10%, 2420. So tonight's was 2420 as well. So that's a repeat there. And then Tuesday, 2369. I believe
Nice.
it's one. Yeah, nice.
And Fitzy, are all these thumps, are they typically done with one share in after hours or overnight trading or
Yeah,
fake
well,
trading?
so Polly's been tracking it all for us, but it's not an official thumper unless it comes through as one share right at the second that overnight trading opens, and it's only for one share. And we don't know who's doing them.
Or
We
how
all
they're
kind of
doing it. Didn't you
yeah.
say that you were literally going to try to buy, basically above the current price to just see if it would go through? And you weren't able to get it to go through, but like somebody has figured out a way to consistently get these things to go through.
Yeah, so their partner is BOATS, Blue Ocean Alternative Trading Systems. And somehow someone is getting one share to go through right at the open and causing it to fill. Like I tried, like you're saying, you got to be above, so you got to be within 20%. That's where I was going with the boats thing.
Hmm.
They have a limitation that anything over 20% of the closing price, they won't fill, or they're gonna halt it for the night. We saw that back in May and in June last year. They'll just stop it at 20%, especially in May. That was awesome. So one comes through, and I've tried myself on Robinhood under 20%. I've
Hmm.
tried, I didn't want to mess up the 69s because I didn't want to make it any weird. But I tried it on a Sunday going into a Monday. I tried it on a normal middle day of the week, because each thing kind of changes. The market isn't open on Sunday until then. So I thought
Hmm.
maybe I could get a limit order in then, but no, I can't do it. No one I know has been able to do it.
It's funny
We've
though.
had
You mentioned the 20%. You got me thinking like maybe whoever is doing this, and if you happen to listen to our podcast, which I wouldn't blame you if you do, maybe for your next trick, you try to get it to halt trading because you are able to secure it above that 20% threshold, and then you halt it, and then all the news all the articles will be GameStop halted in fake trading hours. That'd be a nice trick to whoever's doing that.
yeah. Yeah, whoever's doing that, if you're
Like
listening.
imagine it halts because of like 5 shares because it like breaks the system. That'd be so funny but awesome.
Yeah, it'd probably have to be like 35, 69. I don't know what 10 or 20% up above from here would be.
We're not
But
making you
yeah,
do math. We're not making you do math
yeah,
tonight.
no, I'm not good at it. Anyways,
No
so
Mucinex math.
yeah, I'm trying to think if there's been one on a Sunday before, and I believe there has. But I'll wait till Paulie's back to really kind of dig deeper into it. Just know that there's thumpers. People are counting them. I
Oh
think
yeah.
it was 15 in the original like scene. And I think we just got our 15th today. Would have been the 16th, I believe. They
No.
reversed to a 96.
And the interesting part is like I feel like when they first used to happen, I don't know if it felt like they were fewer and far between back then than it does now. They just feel like they're happening a lot more frequently, and I'm sure Paulie has the data to back that up one way or the other. But it does make me think back to that Dune 2 clip with the thump in the ground. And again, I don't know who's doing the thumps. I don't know if they mean anything. They could be nothing, but I think of that video. I think of the frequency by which they're increasing. And it's, I don't know, like anything else GameStop related, it gets me excited. It gets me something to focus on.
Yeah, so the first thump was on December 11th in 2024. It ran that one it went up 19%. Let's see what the number 3471. So that one times 2 is 6942. So that was our
Hey,
first.
double
Yeah.
whammy.
Yeah, so that was the first one we got, but it also was 6 days after Kitty's time post and almost 9 hours. Almost, but it wasn't. But that would have been kind of wild if the first thumper came 6 days and 9 hours after Kitty posted its time. So I don't know. They seem to be picking up pretty steadily. We're getting about 3 a week now, it seems, 2 to 3. So it's all interesting shit. We don't know who's doing it. We all think it's probably Kitty, but why? To what end? I don't know. Maybe it's a countdown. Maybe it's a way to. I don't know. Maybe it's just whoever it is just getting their jollies
Internet
out.
troll, who knows?
Yeah, that'd be cool. I
Either
don't
way,
know.
though, like I still don't. It's like it's the fact that it's one share, and it's not like we're seeing 100 different people doing it. It still just seems interesting that it really is one entity or person or however they're doing it. It's not. It doesn't seem like it can be emulated by others. I guess is what I'm getting at, which is interesting.
Yeah, and there's that one tweet by Kitty.
They found a loophole.
A loophole.
Yes. Well, it's interesting, sir. As stupid as they appear, they're actually very good at paperwork. It's quite an anomaly.
Where he says, or it's the old school tweet, and they're saying they're very good with paperwork and they have found a loophole. That's what Kitty posted in his meme. So that always works for me when I try to figure out. Well, he does know his shit. He did go to college for this. He did work in the industry for quite a while, so he knows what he's doing. He's not just a cat or a cat, whatever.
The worst part is if you search Keith Gill, Stonehill College, in like not when you actually click their website, but in the view, like the Google search view, it's not even the right picture. It's not even Keith Gill, but the redirect link goes to his page. But I mean, come on, Stonehill College, the disrespect there. He's like the single best thing that's come out of your school, and you can't even have the right photo for him. So that seems like a missed opportunity.
For sure. Yeah, that's terrible. I think, I'm going to look at that now. Maybe we should at them.
I've literally added them before, and they didn't even respond because I don't think I think they lost their login credentials years ago.
Yeah. All right. All right. So looking at the chart.
Can I show a chart? Can I analyze a chart? I feel like it can analyze a chart. It's not a science. Can I look at the chart a little bit? Check out that chart though, huh? Can I do charts real quick? Can I do charts? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that line right there. I mean, no, we used to do charts. We used to do charts back in the day. I think it can be fun. Let me just get to the chart real quick. Wait, can I draw? Hold on. Let me see if I remember how to do this. Oh, I do. Right there. All right, look at that. Look at this. It's like jumping up and jumping down. That chart was just bullets.
Down. I like to say from when we started, but also from when Greg defiled the cake, we're down 28.66%. So it's been like a rough 2 months or so, right?
Which again, for the I know we're a GameStop focused podcast. The reality is a lot of stock are down, relatively similar amounts, if not more. I mean, look at a stock like Tesla, right? It's down. I would say more than that. I'm not looking at the chart now. So I think we're in a time of correction in many ways, right? SPYs has dropped to, I don't know where it's at now, but I want to say it went from, 610 down to 570. So I think like anything else, GameStop will follow along the market at times. It'll run counter to the market at other times. This does seem like a time where the volume's been low, and unfortunately, they've kind of taken advantage of that, and they've slow stepped GameStop down accordingly.
Yeah, so you're definitely right. GameStop, the whole market's been shitting, basically since then as well. But yeah, GameStop over the last 52 weeks is up 57%, while SPY, which had that incredible run back when, right after RC said YOLO, is up 10% for the last 52 weeks. So, it's not apples to apples or whatever when it comes to comparing SPY and GameStop,
Right.
but that's pretty significant difference. GameStop is doing way better than the overall market. Let's see what Tesla looks like just because you said it. So for the last 52 weeks, Tesla is up 42%. So, yeah.
Right. So, I mean, I think and I try to comment on this at times on X, but the waters sometimes get muddy because there's a lot of day traders on X, and they're more focused on day-to-day levels and volume. And then there's the investors of GameStop, and I find myself far more in the latter category, where when the stock is down, when I view it as a correction, I see low volume. Typically, that's where I'm going to start accumulating, especially when you can see that the book value of GameStop is probably within $10, $11 from where it's at now. So I've said this, previously, but I'm more focused on the upside. And right now, when it's down with the market, to me, that just represents a strong buying opportunity. But I totally understand day traders that can sometimes point out that they think, GameStop is going down. And they're absolutely right when they're saying that. But there's ways as an investor you can still take advantage of that information, right? Just because it's going down doesn't mean you can't either, add to your position or just recalibrate your strategy.
Yeah, don't buy a bunch of calls.
Don't buy calls
Yeah,
out of the money. It might be something to
yeah,
consider.
that might be one way. It's been a terrible idea all year. Calls out the money. Just so you know, I went.
But when
We
you
had.
do hit, you will hit, and that's what
Oh
know.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. I'm willing to take a few losses. We got a little silly with it in the Discord. I think GME but Stallion and I think Wally the commish and Swami maybe, I don't know. A couple of us just bought stupid calls for no good reason at all, and it didn't work out. So
I
I
mean,
did make some money.
who hasn't had 125 calls? Who hasn't had those
Yeah,
before, right?
yeah, exactly. I definitely had some at some
Me
point,
too.
and I made money off those. I had 300s back in March 2022, and I made a shit ton of money off those. So that was pretty awesome. 95, that was pre-split, by the way, so that's why it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was the degenerate then too. I don't really play in the money. So yeah, no, 95% of the time, if someone says GameStop's going to go down, they're going to probably be right? Because that's what the fuck GameStop does. We get a high, and then we sell off until we get to the bottom, and then we get another high. We run, we sell off, we run, we sell off. So it never really impresses me that much when these people start calling out shit. Because the other thing that they don't seem to take into account very much is like Kitty or RC dropping news. We all see the cycle, we all know how it works, but there's two major catalysts there that can't be boiled down to indicators on a chart, and it's kind of disingenuous to even act like you can predict that.
I feel like eventually, and this is where I get excited as just a GameStop investor. It's to your point. I'm excited for, Ryan Cohen has historically said that he's not going to show his hand. He doesn't want to give away what they're doing. And I get why Wall Street gets frustrated by that. They feel like they don't know what the company's doing with their cash pile. So because of that, they essentially grade them harder. It's almost like they fail them for not, providing any type of guidance. But the reality is if we do, I know their next earnings is March 25th. It'll be released in after hours on that Tuesday. If the company were to announce that they've done XYZ, or I'm not saying they did, but they did purchase Bitcoin, or, something comes to fruition or comes to light, it's to your point, like it's going to absolutely rip if the market realizes that, oh, wow, they're actually doing something, because now they don't have debt. They still have cash on hand. And look, here's a strategy that you all have been complaining about not seeing for the last 3 to 4 years, right? So it would all come to fruition. You add on top of that this lingering kind of when will Kitty tweet element to it, and it's just the perfect storm for me, and it's why I feel like I will continue to always have exposure to GameStop because it's just so compelling and there's just so many moving parts to it.
Oh yeah, I'm always gonna have my shares, and I'll never, you know, a bearish bet. One of the biggest bearish bets, and selling your calls. People want to trick you, selling calls. My bad, not your calls, selling calls into the market. You talk about a negative hedge. Selling calls will do that. When you could also sell puts and make
Mhm.
money that way too. So there's smart ways to do it without talking people into selling their GameStop or trying to time the market, because there is a fucking catalyst waiting
Nice.
to. Yeah,
You still
yeah,
got it. You're fine.
yeah. Maybe this will be like my Kobe game, where I
Yeah, maybe the fever is gonna actually like make your brain start thinking and acting differently, but it's gonna actually make you better somehow.
yeah, like I think he scored a shit ton when he had the flu or something, didn't he?
I like that you
Kobe.
compared yourself to Kobe. Fitzy
Fuck
is
it,
our
right?
Kobe. You hear that
I'll,
echo?
I'll tell you what, I don't like Kobe very much, honestly. I don't know who any Lakers fan out there. I'm a Sacramento Kings guy, so
Oh, you had
the
that. What
like
was the name growing up? I think his last name was Robinson. He was yoked on the
well, that's
Spurs.
the Spurs. Yeah, no, we the Kings, so it
Oh,
was
I just mixed them up, didn't I?
Chris Webber and Peja Stojakovic and
Chris,
Mike
there
Bibby.
you go, there you go.
Yeah,
Oh
all
man,
those
those were
guys.
some ballers back then.
Yeah, yeah, and then White Chocolate, he was cool as shit too. All kinds
White
of cool stuff.
chocolate.
Yeah,
Hell
that dude
yeah.
was awesome. Yeah, that was when I was
I think my
going to
wife had a
college.
mobile phone that was called the White Chocolate. She loved that phone.
Yeah, dude. Fuck, it had a little spinner
Do you
on
remember
it.
when you used to get like
Yeah.
excited about like people would get different phones? I mean, I feel like it's lost a little bit of its mojo. Like everyone either has, a new iPhone or maybe one of the newer Androids, which I don't even know really what's out there for the main ones. But like I remember growing up, and you'd be like, "Oh, I'm gonna get the Razor, or I'm gonna get the White Chocolate, or I'm gonna get the T-Mobile Sidekick," and everyone had different phones, and it was just I don't know, it was more fun to like get a new cell phone. Now it's just so boring. It's like, all right, I guess I need more storage. I gotta go get a new phone.
Yeah, Apple took or my battery's dying too
My
fast.
battery's
Or
dying because they're definitely
yeah,
making my battery die intentionally because they want me to get a new phone.
yeah, they've taken all the fun out of it, to be honest. Like I got a 16 like last month or the month before, the Pro Max, and I didn't do shit. I just had a new phone. The only difference is your cameras. You're like, "Oh, I got a different camera." That's it.
They do make it really seamless to like, transition your old phone to the new one, which is really cool because that used to be kind of a rough tumble
Oh
there
yeah.
when you go from one phone to the other. Remember getting those? Got a new phone? Got a new phone? Can I get everyone's number? And then you'd see like 100
Yeah.
of those messages. Oh man.
Yeah. So I did Android before, and that was kind of what I used to clear my slate. Was to just when I got a new phone, I'd start fresh every time and just
Yeah.
my main account. But anyways, all right, we digress. I digress. Whatever the saying is. All right, so I think we're looking at the chart. So for the volume for the week, I was starting to say we bounced on Friday, and it gave us a pretty nice bullish looking candle. For the week, volume was still down, like Chug was saying, 21.96 million. Last week was 19, so we're up a little bit. And 24 the week before. One of these had a holiday in it too, so not great. It was still very low volume. We're averaging about 5 million shares over the last 30 days, but that's okay. Like if we're gonna be selling off like this, I'd much rather it be on this low volume while the market is dumping, because no volume means it's fake. That's how I see that shit. All right, yeah. So let's see. The candle was bullish. What else do I have on the chart? 3.96 down on the week. I don't know. I feel last time we said this, and I'm going to say it, I feel pretty good about this week. I think we might
Mhm.
have a green week.
Well,
Last
I
time we
feel
said
like
this.
you have to feel good about this week considering tomorrow is March
Yeah.
17th. I mean, even if we don't have a green week, I'm feeling particularly Irish about tomorrow.
Yeah. And there's a ton of 317.10 just in general. Yeah. It feels like we're about ready for a bounce. Friday felt like we might be ready for a bounce. Just the way it ended, the whole week just ended super bullish for me. But, who knows what could happen with the market tomorrow. But yeah, it is 317, which is St. Patrick's Day. We got a ton of tinfoil from there. I've been working very hard to not hype it up that much. In the Discord, it's a bit in the Discord it's a bit of a different story. We're just compiling it all, and everyone's kind of pitching in. Magnificent. I just want to say that name.
What a
But
name.
what a name is right.
I'm
And he's got
terrified to spell it, but what a name.
yeah. He is. He does some cool editing too. So I say everyone should check out his posts, and I'll add him. But he does some cool stuff, and he was adding to the pile of tinfoil too, and it's just been a lot of fun. So I'll just kind of, I guess, and this is all. So for me, I like to keep my tinfoil separate. Like RC is on one side and Kitty is on the other side. We probably talked about this before. So the majority of my tinfoil really is around like RC. So 317 is his father's birthday. And then we know how important his father has been to him throughout. And he celebrates it. He made a post about it. But also 317 was the day he chose to launch the NFT marketplace. So his father's birthday has been a day where he has launched something before. So that's just interesting. It's also 35 trading days from when he transferred his shares out of RC Ventures into his name in Canada. There's some back and forth on T35, and I'll just say, just T35, it's just a date. But if he's trying to time something, that'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't ever count on the T35s.
No,
yeah,
they're kind of useless. T
yeah,
plus 1, T plus 2, T plus 35 are all the same.
yeah. And there's a whole it's 35 calendar days, and then you got to
Well,
add.
nobody can keep track of the days. I mean, that's half the battle. Just where is T35 from here? Nobody knows.
Yeah, it's basically like 7 weeks. That's how I do it. And then you got to figure out the holidays. But with the holiday we had, I believe that puts it on tomorrow. Maybe it's end of day tomorrow. So I don't know. It could be that he was recalling his shares then, I think is what some of the tinfoil was. It could be that his transfer of all those shares, 36 million plus, into his name could cause a big problem for the brokerages or wherever he was holding his shares. And I don't know, T35 from that day is now, and you know how shitty our market is. It doesn't settle right away at all. So I don't know, just one more thing.
And I think about the scale again. I don't know what's going to happen with respect to his shares, but if you look at the volume we've seen of late, especially the last 2 weeks, I can't confirm last week's, but I know the week before we were saying that there were less than 4 million shares traded per day. And I want to say last week's volume was probably fairly similar, right? Not a lot of volume coming in. So when you think about the scale of 36 million shares or just comparable buys or action around 9, 10, 15, 20, 30 million shares, it's going to have a more drastic effect on the stock because we've seen such minimal non-existent volume. So if something is announced and there are large buying pressures coming in relative to the recent volume, you're going to see just a quick retracement of this downside we've been seeing. And that wouldn't be common, by the way. I think I mentioned this previously, where it's very common, seemingly, that going into an earnings week, we either see the stock start to rip up the closer we get to earnings, and then we see a sell-off, or we see it kind of being slowly walked down so that when they do beat earnings, it jumps 20%, but it's still much lower than it should be. So I don't know which one of those two is going to happen going into the 25th, but I can guarantee you it's going to be one of those two.
Yeah, and 100% my calls are going to be fucked. Like no matter
no matter what you do. Yeah.
No matter what. Yeah, talk about pressure. I think that would be the reason to move those shares. If he was planning to announce something on 317, he would probably do his best to add pressure to that point. And I've said it a few times, RC has absolutely gone for it when it comes to adding pressure at important times. He did it in 2022 with the announcement of the NFT marketplace, and then he bought shares onto OPEC settlement the Tuesday following, which is where our earnings is now. So it's not unheard of for him to announce something before earnings. We don't have it don't look like we have a conference call. I didn't see that announcement. So, but I'll just finish up the 317 tinfoil because there's a little bit more. Chuck, you had one, right?
Yeah. So speaking of folks, kind of giving shout outs, Instinct, who He also
Yeah.
makes some just really incredible hype videos that I often will share. But he DM'd me reminding me that Roaring Kitty had done a V for Vendetta post where I think he photoshopped, Ryan Cohen in and the kitty
Oh yeah.
emoji into it. But V for Vendetta, the movie, which if you know anything about V for Vendetta, it's kind of about standing up and a rebellion and all those things. That was also released on 317. So just a lot of kind of consequential events in GameStop's history, as well as a healthy mix of tin, definitely going into tomorrow.
Oh yeah, V for Vendetta has played a bit of a role in his newer memes too. Second to
The
last one.
dominoes, yep.
Yeah, well, like the one with the Back to the Future, it starts off with him saying, "But first, the overture," and
Oh,
then it goes right to the Back to the Future, then to the Game of Thrones, which is all kind of green fire shit. So, by the way, I had a post get taken down on our YouTube account, dude. Like
why?
because it said I was bullying. I don't know if you saw that, but yeah, I put up I put up the video of the green candle blowing up. You seen that
Yeah,
one? Yeah.
yeah.
So I put the video up, and instead of uh the Baylor Sep Baylor guy or whatever his name is, I put Kenny's head on there, looking like an idiot, and I blew him up.
Wow.
Yeah. So and then I had Kitty being Cersei at the end. So
Wow.
they said I was
YouTube's soft, or
yeah they said I was
Ken
bullying.
soft. I don't know. They're both soft, but geez,
Who's the CEO? I'm gonna tag them. I don't know.
yeah. I'm
Fuck
sure.
it.
I'm sure that'll help.
Yeah, it'll work. All right. So I kind of lost where I was with that. Instinct, you mentioned. I had him or her. I don't know. I had them down, um, because they do put out fucking fire hype videos, and they had one this week that was really good. And they have one with a little cute Pepe band, and I know Dragon
Dude,
loves Pepe.
I love that one. Yeah, Dragon loves the Pepe. I actually like. So before I was listening to Dragon Space and hanging out with him, I didn't realize that Pepe was like this. Like there were more than one. Like I remember seeing
Yeah.
like one Pepe the Frog, but like there is like you can search anything. Like you can add like any keyword and then add Pepe to it, and somebody's made one. They're so funny. But the band one
Oh yeah,
gets me. Instinct's band. That's so funny. I could just like watch that all day.
I really can. I've seen it a few times now. Yeah, the Pepes are great. I'm the same. I'm in the same boat as you. I thought I had no idea what Pepe was, so I started hanging out with all the degenerates in the GameStop area. And then I figured it out. So okay, to wrap up the 317 stuff, because there's more. So that's just the Kitty side of thing. Yeah, LC. I'm sorry, not the Kitty. The Ryan Cohen side of thing. Larry Chang also tweeted something and quoted scripture, which he does. But the verses he quoted was 316 and 317. It wasn't Austin 316. That's a Kitty thing, but Stone Cold Steve Austin played a role in a Kitty tweet as well, and the 316 was pretty visible too. So I don't know. It's 316 right now, and that shit's happened. So
Mhm.
let's see. So 317.25 is 4 months and 20 days. God damn, I gotta look it up now. I'm gonna fuck it up. But there's some really crazy shit out there where it's 4 months and 20 days from fuck.
The 420 and the 69s, they're just
Okay.
so
So Kitty posted Seymour on 122.25, right? So it's not 420 days, but 122/2024 is 420 days from March 17th, tomorrow. So that's a little loose. And then, so 317 on Kitty's side, St. Patrick's Day. So yeah. Anyways, all the Chicago shit, they turned the river. Oh, yeah. He's drinking a green beer. We just couldn't see it in the live stream too. So that's another St. Patty's reference. And then Kitty, one of his famous screenshots is from St. Patrick's Day's the video where he's saying cheers all y'all.
Mhm.
And that's actually on 317 St. Patrick's Day 4 years ago. So the date for tomorrow is exciting. And,
Right. But as we always say, no dates, but tomorrow is definitely a big date. But no dates, but
yeah.
tomorrow.
And by the time people have listened to this, it probably is already over with or close to it. And you're gonna know that we're either hella smart, we
Yeah.
figured this shit out, or we just missed it completely.
They're listening right
Lightning,
now just going, "How did they know? How did they know
yeah,
GameStop would be up 15% today?" I'll tell you, I don't know how we know. This is what we do.
we just know things. Yeah.
I
Okay.
I also just want to throw in there, we had the green fire from the sewers at Texas Tech. So even the universe is throwing out some signs. We got the green fire, we got St. Patrick's Day. Let's go.
I did see that, and that's so funny that like, people see the green sewers, and immediately I'm seeing GameStop tagged to it. I love it.
It was the
It's so-
first thing I thought of was the Game of Thrones meme and just the green fire.
yeah. Which, if you were on campus, that'd be absolutely terrifying, and I would get as far away as I possibly could. But I would probably try to get a video of it quickly too.
Yeah, the green fire is dope. I posted it. It's pretty perfect actually. What the fuck is that? That doesn't seem
You can
safe.
because I'm a big fire guy. You can
Yeah, are you?
I love doing fires, but you can on Amazon order these. Basically it's like kindling that you throw into your fire, and it will change the color of your fire to like green, or you can pick the colors, but it's so great. Like you do like a summer cookout or something, and you don't tell anybody, and you just throw some of this kindling into your fire, and you watch them freak out, and you're like, oh, I don't know what's going on. Like it's normally not green. This is crazy. Did you guys do something? And nobody can figure it out. But I just swapped out the kindling.
You just reminded me that I gotta go get green beer dye or
Oh,
food coloring.
for the
Yeah,
milk,
for work tomorrow. I got a fever, but I'm still gonna go into work.
warrior mentality.
Yeah, people like green beer for whatever reason. Kind of grosses me out. All right. I know I'm scrolling through my timeline just to see if I missed anything for the week. There wasn't a bunch. Daniel did some more shopping. I fucking love that dude. He posts so much.
He's so consistent. He's the most other than he might be the most consistent part about GameStop. Honestly, is
Right?
Daniel supporting the company might be the most consistent part about my GameStop journey.
Plus, he also made that meme on St. Patrick's Day
Yes,
that RC retweeted. I think that was 2022 though. So,
with Will
he's
Ferrell, epic.
oh yeah, epic is correct. Yeah, it's good. So, um, I don't know, Chuck. You got anything else you want to add? Are we missing anything?
I think the only other thing we wanted to briefly touch on was that Bitcoin Magazine
Oh yeah,
had released a video, and I think you wanted to just briefly mention something about that.
just go watch it. Is kind of what it, wanted to say. Bitcoin Magazine is the first account that RC followed outside of GameStop in like 3.5 years. So he followed them, and then they just put up a post with a video, and they spent a lot of time like going into it and talking about bullish shit about GameStop. So that was pretty cool. I just hadn't, I guess they're mainstream media. I don't know if we consider Bitcoin Magazine mainstream media or not, but I haven't seen a video put together about GameStop that was mostly bullish like ever, I don't think, unless it's from one of us,
Mm-hmm.
So that was cool, and they've done a lot of thought into it. I've had some people talking to me about like, maybe him and RC and Sailor are building something on top of blockchain, like their own kind of like to trade securities. That was pretty cool. I don't know who the guy's name is right now, but he mentioned it. I'll add him because it was pretty interesting. I was texting or DMing Mozart about it too, and he said it's possible that they could build on top of blockchain. So that I'm sorry, on top of Bitcoin, which is on blockchain. So that would be pretty cool if that is what their goal is. Just anything that'll push the fucking button, which is get GameStop, some version of GameStop onto a blockchain that is controlled by Ryan Cohen and our board. So yeah, that is interesting. I go watch that video. It's pretty good shit. Yeah, I appreciate everyone that checks out our show. Our download numbers are steady as hell. Even like though all of our engagement is way down. Anyone on Twitter right now, GameStop Twitter at least knows, engagement is way down. I think some of us just kind of don't fucking want to be there that much right now.
Yeah, I think some of it's not even it's not even just GameStop. I think that X, like anything else, right? I think it ebbs and flows in terms of kind of the mood of X, and it's just I don't know. Sometimes you want to spend time on there. It's uplifting. People are in a good mood. Everyone's celebrating, happy, loving life. And then other times it's like you log in and you're just like, oh yeah, I actually probably should not be on X right now because
Yeah.
everybody is just like in a horrible mood, and you guys are all bringing me down. So we try to stay positive. We try to stay focused on GameStop, but like anyone else, we're human. We take breaks. But I've noticed that as well. And honestly, not that I care about the $15 that Elon pays me, but I think a lot of people that were trying to use X for like monetization reasons are quickly realizing that I think when he was kind of front loading how much people would maybe make based on uplifting a few accounts, and the reality is most people aren't going to make enough to quit your job or whatever on X. So just use it for how you want to use it, right? Like have fun, post, follow people that are interesting to you, but I wouldn't use it as a be all end all to try to make money for sure.
Oh no, I made $35 last week. Again, though, engagement's down. Not last week. It's over 2 weeks. That's the
Yeah,
lowest
yeah.
I've had. That's the lowest engagement I've had in over a year.
You're rich,
But
dude. You're rich.
yeah, right. Last year, yeah, we're going to McDonald's, y'all. Last year at this time, volume was way down, engagement was way down, but things had changed a lot between then and now when it comes to following and everything else. So
It's also
it's
funny though, again, literally all it would take is a Roaring Kitty tweet or Ryan Cohen announcing something or even doing a tweet, and suddenly, GameStop just it's like a hive, right? It's buzzing again. It's just funny how that is. Like we're in kind of a dormancy phase, but the moment that something, a catalyst, anything happens, it just starts rock and rolling again.
Oh yeah, as soon as we get a tweet, it's back on. So we got there because I was saying I appreciate the consistency we're getting out of our listeners.
It's
So
amazing.
yeah, it really is. Thank you all. We really appreciate it. All kinds of feedback all the time. My DMs are open. Oh, Chuck, we didn't do the thing.
Oh, right. The secret word.
Live from the audience and 10 seconds on the clock.
The secret word is
Thump.
The secret word is thump. And so you're gonna need to, once you hear this secret word, reply
Just
to
thump. You're going to need to reply to a post I will be doing where I will be giving away a $50 gift card that I won from our boy Welp. So he's been lucky enough to allow me to re-gift the gift. I'm re-gifting, but with permission. So again, you have to reply to my tweet with the word thump, and I will randomly select a winner, and we'll announce it maybe on the show or we'll tweet it out. But yeah, shout out to Welp for letting that happen. And I think BB was the other account. Welp and BB maybe.
dope. Yeah, it was you earned that one though. I feel like you deserve that. So good job. I appreciate you using it to give back to the community. That's always cool. We're always like, hey, let's see what we can give out. I love that about our community.
Absolutely.
And Welp's meme contests are fun. So yeah, okay, so yeah, that's pretty awesome. In terms of special shows, we got one in the Discord. Speaking of the Discord, it's the Echo Chamber Discord. We're just like the show. We're GameStop Bulls. It's not a bull size kind of place. I've been slowly adding a few people. I have a couple DMs. I will just say be patient. I don't want to just flood new people in all the time. But in the meantime, maybe come interact and talk about GameStop with us, because that'll be the quickest way you can get an invite into the Echo Chamber. Is we gotta do our due diligence on the folks. We can't just add everybody that wants to come in, and you got to be a GameStop bull. So, anyways, yeah,
Fitzy's out there vetting harder than the TSA agents to get in there.
Well, it's a vibe, right? Like if you fuck
I get it.
a Discord vibe, we got a lot of people that have been in there. We're good, so we're gonna be doing the earnings show on earnings the 25th. We're gonna start recording from the Discord voice chat at 12:30. I'll probably get in there at 3:30. I'll probably get in there at 3:00 Eastern, and then we'll hit the record at 3:30. So anyone listening from the Echo Chamber Discord, would love for you to come through. I can handle up to 72 streams of audio. We'll see if my PC can handle that, but it might be fucking crazy, but we could definitely get a good amount of folks in there. Not
Guyark's gonna be freaking out. He's gonna be like, "What are all these other people doing in here?"
every... Yeah, I'm very worried about my computer, so we'll have to run some sort of test run, I think, probably next week sometime. Echo, me and you need to get together on that.
Yeah, I got you. Just let me know.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's it. That's cool. I still want to get a Bitcoin show together. I guess at this point, maybe we wait, or maybe we do it right before earnings on this coming Sunday. Paulie wants to be here for our Bitcoin episode, though. So we miss you, Paulie. Can't wait till you're back. Have fun while you're out there.
Happy life, happy wife.
Exactly. Yeah. Thanks, Chuck, for hanging out, dude. Thanks, Echo, for coming in and hanging out like you guys do every weekend. All right. Have a good one.
Peace.
Have a good one.
Definitely have some editing to do there, but
Yeah. What did FIFA say on stage the other day? Like, or
So
what did they?
yeah, they were talking about, and it was I had just sort of tuned into it a little bit late, so I caught a little bit of the tail end of it. But basically, he kind of had the floor. It was Gianni from FIFA, and he said, hey, we're really excited to be here. As you know, soccer is a wildly popular sport, represents several $1 billion a year in economic clout, essentially. And he basically said FIFA is interested in making a FIFA coin, and they would like to partner with someone to do that within the United States. And the subterfuge there is that there's anticipation that there will be zero capital gains on US-based cryptocurrency that is held for at least a year. And so that's me reading into it a little bit, that why he emphasized that they would like to build it in the United States. But FIFA is obviously a European body, and so they're looking for someone to partner with in the United States to establish a US based FIFA coin.
Well, and if it's gonna
Although
be
if it's a meme coin, then it's not really a cryptocurrency or a security. So I'm not really sure where all of that really ties into it, because I'm not sure what the capital gains is on cryptocurrencies if they're not securities. But
how does it work for collectibles? Because it's a collectible.
Right. Yeah. I'm not sure what capital gains are like on those. So
I heard Sachs. He was on Bloomberg. I shared it. It was just interesting, but he handled the media very well. But they're asking about Trump's coin and whatever, and he's like, Trump, it's a collectible. I think he made a huge point to be.
Well, I feel like that was all over the verbiage on the launch, collectible. So
Yeah.
they had the forethought to be very careful with the phrasing and the words, because come on, they kind of knew. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah, but I just thought it was super interesting that not 2 days before that crypto summit, the Sultan had reposted his post from like a couple of weeks ago saying, hey, is there any synergy between FIFA and GameStop? And then FIFA's got this like front row seat to the world at the crypto summit saying, hey, we would love to partner with anyone. Are there any takers on this and,
we should jump in and record. I mean, this is good I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Paulie's doing the show right now.
All the crooked hedge funds meet, all the big dogs on Wall Street. The SEC gets on the line. Stop the buying, we'll say we're blind. When the brokers froze, the game didn't